YouTube? It's me, Christiana. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to When in Doubt Pink. Yes, today we are getting into some hair. We're getting into some life stuff. We are getting into things that, I don't know, brought me a little joy this month. So if you are interested in hearing about all of the things, hearing me just go on and on and on, okay, keep on watching. Hello. Hopefully my heater isn't too loud because I'm not turning it off. It's chilly in here. It's morning. It's Sunday morning. Actually, I am filming and posting this on the same day, so hello. Happy Sunday. I am getting ready to do my hair. Okay, let's talk about my hair real fast, okay? Because the other day, Tuesday, I straightened it, blew it out, straightened it, yada yada, right? Okay, let me tell you, it was only straight like that for less than like 48 hours. I like literally actually less than 24 hours. The next day when I went into work, it was like raining and shit, and it poofed up a little bit, but it was still like savable, you know. But literally by the end of yesterday, the whole back was just, it was a mess. It was a mess. The air is still too wet. The air is still too wet. The air is like it's just too humid. Either sometimes it's cold and rainy, or like today it's warming up, but there's still too much moisture in the air, and I'm just not a big fan of trying to like force my hair to stay straight when okay, so whatever. But I am just like, let me tell you, I'm right here. The reason I even blew my hair out in the first place is because I just wanted something to be able to take my scarf off and keep it moving, all right? Because that is the energy in the space that I'm in right now. I don't want to be styling my shit every day. Like, I just don't want to do that, right? And so I was like, all right, well, what can I do? Because the rent is due, right? Rent's been paid, thank God for that. But I was like, all right, I'm not waiting until I get paid again to be able to do my damn hair. I need to do it meow. So I went to the hair store. I went on a journey yesterday, tired as heck, but I went on a journey yesterday. I found a good hair store. I'm gonna do a quick weave, okay? I haven't done a quick weave in literally years, okay? But I don't believe in sewing in synthetic hair. I just don't. But I also thought it would be fun to see if I still got it, right? I haven't done a quick weave in ages, but I found this like hair, like a nice little mix. I got 2 bags of 24-inch. It's like a natural yaki texture, which is what I like because it looks like my hair. And then I got 2 18s, and I bought 2 of each because, listen, the journey it took me to get to that hair store, I'm not going back, all right? Period. I'm not going back. So I gotta make it enough. All right, so I got a little table set up here. I got my glue. I had to buy another pair of scissors because the last set of braids I had, I broke my scissors. Broke my scissors, wouldn't be the first time. And then last night I like blow dried my hair and braided it down. Not amazing braids, but then I went through with some hair gel because the hair store I went to, I couldn't find the Morning Glory. I guess they don't have it there. If you know about Morning Glory, you know. So I decided to do it the old-fashioned way, and slathered my hair in some Eco Styler gel, and I put this little net cap on and blow dried it, you know, and then overnight obviously it dried some more, but I put this cap on so I could like compress the braids, you know. Anyway, I'm giving y'all way too many details because this is not a tutorial, okay? I just wanted you to know what the heck I was doing while I'm sitting here running my mouth. Welcome to my monthly recap. There's a lot of things to get into this month. I think the first thing I should actually get into is like housekeeping for the channel, because as I'm always saying, is like, your girl is busy, okay? Your girl be out there grinding so that baby the cat can live her luxurious lifestyle, and ultimately it is my responsibility to manage my plate, right? Manage what what am I taking on, what am I doing, how am I doing it, managing my own mental health, and knowing when burnout could be around the corner or something like that, you know. And although I'm currently like not burnt out, but at this rate I will become burnt out, right? And this is like an issue I had before with my job, right? My job is thankfully a creative job, but it's really hard to like come home and continue to try to be creative when I'm like giving so much juice, you know what I mean, like for work. And like I said, it's my responsibility to know when to like cut back, when to pivot, etc, etc. And it's definitely time for me to cut back and pivot. I had added an extra day on this channel because I really wanted to get my catalog of videos back up, and I've done that. I'm really happy about that. Like, I don't have as many videos up as I wish I did, but I have enough that if someone new came to this channel, they know that, okay, this girl makes videos and she's like around. So hip to me on that. We'll talk about it more in a little bit, but I just want to say I need a little bit of space in this moment to be kind of wildly inconsistent. I know that like I can't really take a break because I might not fucking come back, right? With the way that my life is set up, and the things that I'm working on and working towards. But I, for a little bit, will just be posting when I can post. I have to kind of come off of having a schedule like I've been doing if I'm going to be able to keep creating here, I think. The other thing is that like I've been kind of feeling left out on TikTok, because I don't know if you guys know, but I have I'm on TikTok one, and I haven't made any content over there in some time because I really wanted to focus on YouTube, even though it's like funny because I was able to grow there so much easier, and I actually have more followers there than I do here, right? I've been feeling really left out on TikTok lately, and I think I want to get back to making short form content again, especially because it's less it's easier. It's just easier, right? YouTube is not for the weak. And with all that being said, again, thank you so much to those of you who like are always here, always checking in with me, seeing what I'm up to. Those of you who like show up, even the silent watchers, like thank you all for being here and showing up and seeing what kind of shenanigans I'm in every week, you know? Look at me about to tangle the hair up already, child. Chill. This is really nice. I like this. Like a lot of dimension in the color. They really had this in like 30 inches in there. I was like, girl, am I Nicki Minaj? Like the 24 inch is fine. Can't even spell Prague. Okay, so let's get into the mental health check-in. Mental health has been really kind of quirky lately. I'm thankful that I like have the things that I need to be generally healthy, you know, because that was coming into question last month. I'm thankful to have what I need and feeling more stable, you know. I will say like this past week I found myself like really just being in a mood, you know, and not really having anything to point at, right? Like I was just feeling super moody and just being like I don't know, like, and just having to like brace people for this mood that I'm in, that I can't explain why I'm feeling like this, but I feel like this. And I think that's okay, right? Like we all kind of have our times, our moments or whatever, and I just didn't want anybody, like I just wanted to be alone. Like, and I remember saying that to my lead. I'm like, yo, like I just want to be alone right now. I just want to be by myself. Because I'm just not into it. And really, like, you know, she kind of asked me to elaborate, and I was saying that like, you know, I just feel really numb. Like just numb. I don't feel like super happy. I don't feel really sad. I'm just feeling numb. And for a while there I thought maybe is this my medication, right? Because I have heard stories of people being like hold on, people being like, oh, once I got on such and such medication, then I started to feel this way or that way or whatever, right? People feeling like a shell of themselves. And I started to think for a while, like, is that what's happening with me? Like, is that the vibe? But then I just got back from Detroit, Michigan yesterday. While I was out there, I was only out there for a couple days, but while I was out there, I ran into somebody who, like, I kind of have a little crush on, right? And it was while I was there that it clicked for me. I'm feeling numb because I don't have anything going on. Like, I'm feeling really numb because I don't have like any drama going on right now. I don't have any like love interest things happening right now. Like, things are kind of boring right now. I'm feeling numb because I don't have shit going on. And I realized when I was like talking to this person that I was like kind of feeling a little bit like lit up by the interaction, you know? And I'm glad for it because that I wouldn't have come to that realization otherwise. And it kind of actually reminded me of how I felt during the pandemic, actually, where there was literally nothing going on. Nothing going on during the pandemic, and how that affected me. I remember I used to just like wake up out of my dreams just because it was like my brain didn't know what else to dream about because there was nothing going on. So I would just wake up. That sounds really bad. I'm just trying to get a couple of these tracks like pre-glued, I think. I'll probably do like 3 at a time so I don't make a mess. I thought I was being cautious buying 4 packs, but I feel like hopefully I'll be able to complete this with 4 packs. Because I'm not going back to the stove. So I would say that, like, generally I'm okay, right? I'm alive. I'm healthy. There's so many other things going on in the world, you know? I took 16 minutes to tell you I'm okay. I don't wanna make a mess. So things that brought me joy in the month of September. Yeah, okay. So I feel like this month I was literally like here, there, everywhere, like so literally. I spent the beginning of the month, I went to Myrtle Beach in South Carolina with my cousin. The vlog is up if you were curious or you missed that. I went to Washington DC for work. I went to, and then I went to Michigan just now. I went to Detroit and I just came back yesterday. So I feel like I was like here, there, and everywhere, which is cool. And trust me, like, I don't like flying, you know? I am a homebody for sure, but I think it's really healthy for me to be able to like have these opportunities to get out, get up, go do something else, go do something new, go see somewhere new, you know? And all of these trips were like really good experiences. Also got to stay in some really nice hotels this month. I celebrated my cousin's birthday, but I also celebrated my mom's birthday. I think I told you guys like that my mom had a birthday coming up. She turned 50. And I just wanted to do something nice like for her, and it came with a lot of complications trying to put something together, but we ended up doing kind of like dinner and cake here at my house, and I invited a ton of people. Some of those people showed up, some people didn't, you know how it goes throwing a party. Also the weather was really bad. But people came and her friends came, and that was the most important thing to me, is that like, you know, like my mom, you know, she had me when she was 19. She's been a parent like all of her adult life. Her and I have literally grown up together, you know? I've never witnessed my mom like really being celebrated, right? Like, so like I've never seen my mom have a birthday party. I haven't seen too many times like other people celebrating her in any real meaningful way, you know? I might have said this already, broken record, but like my grandmother passed away when she was 52. And being young, you know, grandmas are old. I didn't realize how young she actually was, and bringing context to that and my mom turning 50, like I knew like we have to celebrate her, and we did, and it was beautiful. It was a great time. I was really happy like at the success of the event and how happy my mom seemed to be, like that all her friends came and stuff. Now some of our family members, that's a whole different thing. It's only half a joke that I think about divorcing this family every day of my life. Challenges and goals. So I think I was met with a lot of challenges this month, but we'll only talk about some of them. I think I just said too, like, you know, I'm going through a thing where I'm literally going through nothing. The fact that I've acknowledged for a while now that I'm in a friendship deficit. I released a good handful of friends over the last couple of years, and I have yet to replace those people. Not that they need replacing, but considering I've always kept a really small circle just naturally, who I am, and the fact that I have not replaced my circle really, you know, it's starting to have kind of an effect on me. It's starting to show up in my behaviors, even with people at work and stuff like that. The fact that I am in a friendship deficit and do need to put some sort of efforts into, you know, reach out to the friends I do have, and forcing myself to do that, because one thing about being in this union is that your whole world over time becomes just the union. Literally, like when we get together, like all we talk about is the union. Like, you know, a lot of times we don't even bother making friends who aren't in the union because they don't get it. There's a lot with that, but I am aware of that and want to make sure I don't like turn back into like a union robot, and making sure that I'm doing stuff outside of my work. Although my work is a huge part of my life. It's hard too, because like, you know, me and my cousin are very close, but she's also still my family member at the end of the day. And so actually I do need at least one other friend who is not like related to me, right? Because there are things that I do keep to myself that I don't tell my cousin, or, you know, and I think that's okay. And I'm sure she's got her things too that she doesn't tell me, because we are family. I like this color a lot. It's pretty. I'm only gonna talk about Baby the cat for like 2 seconds because she's over there in the room. She's like over here in the room with me. Now I want her to think I'm telling all her business, but my bear has been a little more bratty than she used to be, in a way that I'm finding difficult to deal with. Like, I love my bear, but I feel like I created a little monster sometimes. She just requires a lot of attention, and whenever I go out of town and stuff like that, like she'll shit all over this house, on the floor, on the carpet, like, and it's been really actually hard to deal with. Even sometimes, like if I don't let her in the room when I'm sleeping, because I don't really like for her to sleep in the room with me, because she gets really active in the middle of the night and I need to be able to sleep. And she, you know, she's always had like a really spiteful spirit, but it feels like it's getting worse. And I don't really know how to deal with this, because she's becoming really behavioral. Love her, but she's becoming really behavioral. So that's been very challenging, because I don't actually know what to do. But what's interesting is that her daughter, who stays with my mom, has also been acting very behavioral lately. I'm like, they gonna be two peas in a pod living outside in a minute. I've been feeling a lot of challenges like at work recently, but like not in a bad way. Like I can feel myself being stretched at like just on a really personal level at a lot of times, right? I'm experiencing like a lot of situations and scenarios that I would have handled differently in the past, but like trying to be more mature about things, you know? And actually I feel myself becoming more mature in a way that is also stretching me. I think I said this recently in a video where I was saying, like, you know, I used to be the baby of my union, especially here in Philly. Like, I think I'm still the baby actually, but now I work for like the international, and I'm not the baby anymore. There are people coming up behind me who are younger than me, Gen Z, you know, and interacting with them is growing me, because I can't act like a baby anymore. I can't, like, not that I was acting like a baby, but like, you know, when you're the baby of the situation, you tend to act like a little bit, I don't know, but like, I'm finding that I actually have to be the grown-up that I actually am. And that has been, I don't want to say it's been challenging, but I can feel myself being stretched and being like, okay, Christiana, like, you have to be a grown-up about this, you know? And I don't hate it. Like, I actually feel like this is good for my personal development. And I think even just talking about personal development, like the actual work itself, like in this season, and I didn't want to like open up the video that way, but I should have said that, like, you know, I had a conversation with my lead not that long ago, and she kind of like made this personal commitment to me, right, that she would help me to get on track to be able to get promoted in a timely fashion, right? Because I've been in this union a really, really long time, and it is important for me to be growing and moving up and whatever. And so her and I have been kind of knocking down this checklist of stuff that I have to be able to say that I've done before, or have to say that I know how to do well, or, you know what I mean, that I have experience in certain things, right? We've been checking down this list for a little bit. Some of the things I had already done before, which is great, but I still have some things left. Like I said before, like, I am really not interested in press work. Like doing press work, and it's like, not that I don't think I could do it, right? I don't find it interesting. I don't find it interesting, but it is a function of the work that I do. And this month I actually like took it head on and did some press work on some cafeteria workers who were thinking about going on strike, you know, and I really dug in there. I did the thing, I did it well, and got us a ton of press hits, like did the whole thing, talking to like news reporters and this and that. I even got my name in in the paper. That was unintentional. We try not to like center ourselves, but sometimes, like, if the only person the reporter can reach out to is one of us, they will try to like put our names in the paper. But yeah, like, I did all the things, and I actually did it really successfully this month, and that really came to like me challenging myself and not going into it like, oh, I don't want to do this, da, 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 da. You know what I mean? I went into it being open about doing it, and it paid off. So I'm really happy about that. Let's talk about music. Yo, okay, so if you're on TikTok, you would have seen a couple months ago they were previewing Juvenile doing a NPR Tiny Desk concert, and I didn't watch it at the time that it came out, but I did recently watch it, and it was so good. It was so good. It was very funny, like, because they, you know, got like people on real instruments, and he's like saying all this crazy stuff like to the sound of a violin, or like, you know, whatever, a trumpet. But the Juvenile Tiny Desk, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. It was really a good time. I've also for the Awkward Black Girls, I've been listening to Matchbox 20's greatest hits lately. I'm feeling really like nostalgic. Yeah, Matchbox 20 always had the bangers, just to be clear, but there was a song that popped in my head, and I went to go listen to that song, and then I remembered all these other songs that I really liked from them. And I'm glad though I got down that rabbit hole, because I really should be using a blow dryer, but because I'm talking to you, I don't want to like have to keep stopping because the blow dryer. Doja Cat, we're back talking about Doja Cat. because at first I think I wrote down like, oh, she came out, dropped another song, another single, and then when I finally got around to listening, I realized it was because she dropped her whole album. She dropped her new album called Scarlet, and I've listened to it about 3 times now, and I would say the album is a banger. I think she did a great job. I will say there are some skips on there, you know, because there's some albums that she's had, like Planet Her, or, you know, whatever. Like, she's had, you know, some albums where you don't really skip too many of the songs. I will say there's some on here where I kind of skip or whatever. Like, I didn't like the song Demons. I didn't like that song when it came out, so like I skip. I would say overall this is a really, really good project. If you haven't listened to it, I definitely recommend just listening to it the one time at least, because you might find like I was surprised listening to it, right? Because me and my cousin were kind of debriefing it, and I was saying that, like, to me it felt like she's giving 90s hip-hop. She's giving a little bit of like Erykah Badu. Like, some of the tracks, if you listen to Erykah Badu's more recent stuff, like some of her full albums and stuff, it definitely was giving Erykah Badu at different times. I think she put out some of, like, her singles are for shock value, but all of the songs are not giving that. It's very interesting, but it's like a very hip-hoppy, very old school sound, and it's very good. I was not expecting that, because like I said, it feels like she's going through her like Illuminati era, and like everything she's doing is like evil and devilish or whatever, you know. But really, I think she's just doing that so people at least talk about her, is now what it's giving to me. I think I'll also show you my on repeat playlist on Spotify right now. You'll see some songs that have just been still at the top of my repeat list that have been there for a while, but it's because I'm actively still listening to those songs. I kind of wear a thing out until I get sick of it, and I think that's okay. Okay, considering I got this far up with just one pack of hair, I feel better. So I think I am going to use just a little bit more of the other pack of 24, but I'm going to use it really, really close, because I don't really like thin hair, to be clear. I don't like thin hair. So I am gonna use as much of this hair as possible so it comes across a little thicker. I do want to say a little bit about Nicki Minaj. As you all probably know at this point, I love Nicki Minaj, right? Love her music, have always loved her aesthetic. She's my kind of aesthetic girl, right? I get frustrated sometimes just watching women generally destroy themselves by way of a man that is undeserving of them. I'm just gonna be honest about it. So many women, so many talented women have been put on the bench one way or another, because, you know, being put on the bench could mean all kinds of things, but kind of being put on the bench or have their careers ruined or reputations ruined, or in this case her legacy is getting ruined by a man, and that is so sad for me. Like, to me, like, that's sad. Kenneth Petty is gonna be like the downfall of Nicki Minaj for sure. And then even like, so I don't know if you guys were like even paying attention to that, but there was this whole thing where she was like on live and she was like in her studio doing Queen Radio, and there's like 50 million goons all around her, and she's like showing them off or whatever, like, look how protected I am, nothing's gonna happen to me, blah blah blah, right? That's cool and all, but like, there's a part of me when I saw that, and I was like I hope that she wants that and not feeling like she can't say no to that. You know what I mean? Because you just don't know like the inside. Like, I hope in a couple of years we're not like, she's not doing some kind of sit down or something talking about how she felt trapped, or like, you know, like I hate it so much. Sometimes it feels like women don't always fully know their value, and in situations like this it shows. And I hate it for her, I really do. All this gang shit is below her. I think I was also hoping that some of this Nicki Minaj Cardi B beef was starting to wear away a little bit, and the fact that it feels like Kenneth Petty is like reigniting some of that through Offset, who literally has nothing to do with anything. I'm gonna move on now. TV shows and movies. So you guys saw I was watching Power Force. I won't really talk about that too much, but I have been watching Real Housewives. I think the reunion must have ended this month because I wrote that down in my notes. I'm not even gonna get back into that because I have left it in the past in my mind, okay? The Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion was really terrible. All of it. And also like just watching Ralph kind of navigate as a narcissist was really triggering and just weird. But also I think that this show needs those two. If they really are doing a full reboot of the show, having Ralph, Drew Sidora, and her sister, and Courtney, that's gonna be good TV. If they bring those four back, good TV. I'm also watching Housewives of New York City, and all I have to really say about that for now is Team Uba. Because it's really funny how people feel like they could do whatever they want to you, and then when you decide you're gonna react how you want to react, then people want to police you. Team Uba, Team Black women. Will not be elaborating further. I'm kind of like feeling around for gaps now that I know I had enough hair. And I'm kind of thinking about adding a couple in the back now that I know I have enough hair. I recently saw the trailer for the new Color Purple, movie that's supposed to be coming out at some point. Halle Bailey is in it, which is really cool. Fantasia, of course. She about to eat the girls up. I don't know, I think it's gonna be good though. I think it's gonna be really good and I want to see it. It comes out on Christmas Day. Now normally I am not a fan of like remakes, reboots, and stuff like that, but it feels like they're going to add a new flavor to it, which is fine. But also, like, you know, I've been trying to be more open to the idea of reboots, just because it almost does feel like if we're not taking the responsibility of making sure that the younger generations know about a thing, they not gonna know about the thing. Okay, some of these are still wet, so me trying to lift them up to potentially put more tracks in is messing things up. So I'm gonna wait till they dry and then go back. I think this is what's gonna happen. Are any of you actually following the Colleen Ballinger Swoop interviews? Because I feel like I've been bringing it up a lot and talking about it, but I don't know if it's worth actually talking about it. But I did watch all 4 hours of the latest interview with Josh, who was Colleen Ballinger's ex-husband. I watched that while I was painting my living room. And child, like, I don't know, like, I admire Swoop, first of all. That kind of like investigative journalism is really interesting. But also like the fact that people be trusting her to come up here, like this ain't about to be evidence if somebody end up going to jail off half the stuff that's been talked about at this point. All they gonna have to do is pull up her damn videos. All the evidence, it wouldn't be me. Anyway, very good. Really was interesting to me, even like Josh is not a victim, but just hearing the hopes and dreams that he had for his relationship with Colleen was really sad, actually. Him talking about saving himself for marriage, and then he got with her, and then he's like divorced from her like a year later or something, and then completely just like brushed out, washed away, and like everybody just moved on from him like he was never even there. I feel that in a different way, but you know, he going to jail too, just to be clear. Pop culture and chatter. Tyler Perry got into it, got eaten up by the whole damn internet recently, right? Again, another man trying to tell Black women that we want too much for ourselves, trying to convince Black women to settle with a guy who can only pay the light bill. It's getting really disrespectful at this point. It's getting really disrespectful at this point. the way that Black women are constantly being told like that we're asking for too much, we're doing too much, we're accomplishing too much, we gotta save some for the men, like we're making the men look bad or whatever, when they could just become better or like work on themselves to become better. It's really exhausting. Also, just the fact that so many men think like this, and it's like, yo, half of your movies are like struggle love, you know. Like what are, like I can't, like I really cannot. It's like stuff like that that just like makes me not want to engage, because like so many men like agree with where he's coming from, but also these same men are the ones that like cheat on their like well-established partners, because that's the only thing they can do to like feel better than them, or like to gain some sort of power in the relationship, is to cheat on those women. It's not giving. It's not. Right, I'm gonna open up some of this 18 since I'm starting to get up to the top. It's just super frustrating that, and especially in the Black community, it just feels like the solution is for women to change, for women to lower themselves, and nobody ever wags their finger at men. And as men especially don't do that because they're scared of one another, scared of not being accepted, scared of physical violence, like scared of a lot of things, but will tell us we shouldn't be scared of them. And also like men just don't listen to other men. Like they just don't. They don't listen to women either. They only unless the man is saying something crazy like, you know, you just paid a light bill. One thing I'm not gonna ever be doing is taking care of no man. Like I don't care what's going on. I'm never, no. I've seen it too many times and it gets women nowhere. Now you already know we about to talk about Halle Bailey. Okay, so speaking of men being the downfall of many successful women, Halle Bailey, right? It's become very clear to those of us who spend a lot of time scrolling that she may or may not be with child of DDG. And it's just so weird to me that she would allow herself to become pregnant by a man who has openly admitted to being jealous of her, right? And he literally is like a groupie. Like every time I see them together, it's like he's hanging on to her, like because he doesn't have his own name for real, you know? And like the second they stop dating, no one will think about him ever again, really. Not on the big stage. Like I understand he has a YouTube following and whatever, but not on the big stage. And I think he knows that. I think a lot of men understand certain things and how it benefits them to latch on and ride the wave, at least long enough to where they can use that fame for themselves at a later date. Like literally the only reason I know who he is because he's dating her. I'm also kind of just frustrated by the thought of that because she's so young and at the beginning of her career, and that's usually when this type of thing happens to a lot of women. You're at the beginning of your career, the world is yours. I don't know where this video ended. My thing stopped recording. I was just talking about Halle Bailey and how shameful it is. I don't even want to say it all again, but how shameful it is like to have another man come through and like put her on the bench. And we hate to see that for her. That's all I'm gonna say, because hopefully the rest of everything I said was still there before the camera shut off. Trends and internet memes. Okay, so I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed a couple TikToks this month. If you're Black, nothing for you, but if you're white, there's something for you. A whitey. A whitey. Anyway, this Willy Wonka Doja Cat TikTok I saw had me rolling this month because I just knew that was going to be me. It ended up not being me at all because the weather won't chill out. One conversation that's been going on TikTok that has had my interest though the last couple weeks is this teacher discourse that's been happening, where it started off with this one teacher who like basically was saying, you know, he's I think a middle school teacher or whatever, and the kids can't read, right? And he was mostly saying like, you know, because the pandemic and stuff like that has like set people behind, set kids behind, but also that some of these kids very clearly couldn't read before then, and they're like you know, getting to that age where you probably should know how to read. And he was saying, you know, even that it's weird that some parents don't know that their kids can't read. That like exploded into this bigger conversation about the state of children and public education, and you know, so many teachers who have left the profession altogether, especially fighting with the students and fighting with their parents. And the one lady was saying like she told a parent that her child could not read, and the parent said that she thought that she would grow out of it, like she thought she would grow out of not knowing how to read. We're in a sad state of affairs, I think, and people aren't really thinking about the bigger picture to that, you know. And in the work that I do, I can't help but to think about it, right? You know, there have been plenty of documentaries over the last couple of years talking about the state of work and company towns in other countries, right? For example, Walmart, I want to say that's China. Walmart has like a campus and people live there and they work there, and some of their paycheck gets taken out automatically to pay for the housing, and they don't even make enough money to even be able to leave and not work for Walmart anymore, because they would lose their place, like, and wouldn't have money to get a new place because they're only making just enough money to buy like their necessities while they're living on the Walmart campus. Like, it's a whole thing, right? And people have been talking about that as something that could potentially happen here over time with Amazon, especially Amazon, where they might, you know, have housing at some point where the workers can just live there and work there and live there and work there. And how, even though for some people that might end up being a blessing, but generally it's like that shouldn't exist. They should pay people enough to be able to afford housing elsewhere. And also those who will one day be adults, not being able to read contracts, might even be selling themselves away through contracts they didn't understand in the first place. There's a lot here. I saw a TikTok talking about the military recently, and how this past year they hit their lowest recruitment numbers. They can't seem to get Gen Z, women and people of color to join the military anymore. And I think it's just because we've all like wised up, but that's another conversation for another time. But I just keep thinking about, like, you know, even that some people run away to the military because they don't know what else to do. There's some people who really, you know, that was always their life plan, you know, but I also know plenty of people who ran off to the military because they didn't know what else, like what other options they could have. Education in this country is at a very troubling point. The kids, I mean, even like here in Philly, right? If you've been hearing the news, because I know a lot of this is made like international news, not international, but like, you know, it has really become like a larger story of like how the kids have been looting stores the last couple of days, I guess, because that was all this week. There's been like a lot of looting downtown in Center City, kids just wilding out. And it really is like teenagers with no direction, not really feeling like they have any real reason to live, because they hear all of us older people talking about how shitty the state of the world is. And they're just out here running amok and nobody's checking them. And yet we all know that they're building jails and prisons every day, right? I think that we're gonna look up, you're gonna be working the field either as a free person or behind bars, but that the children of tomorrow, of today, right, will be, they're just not in a good place, especially the ones that look like me, you know? So the tea on me, like I just said, I ain't got no damn tea for real. I don't have no damn tea, ain't nothing going on. But I will say that, oh, I got glue, another glue. I will say that I'm in the mood to like get in trouble. Like, I'm in the mood for some trouble, okay? I don't know if that's good trouble, bad trouble. I'm in the mood to get in some trouble. Things have been kind of boring around here. I don't know, every once in a while I go through this phase of like, okay, I need to do something, I need to switch it up, I need to change it up, I need to do something new. That's where I'm at right now. I don't know how that's gonna manifest, but I'm open to whatever. I need something going on. I didn't think I would still be sitting here by the end of the video, but I am. And clearly I'm going to be sitting here for a little bit longer, so I am going to finish my hair and come back. She still got it, she still got it, yay. It's almost an hour later to be clear, but I'm finished and I'm really excited. I'm excited about the blend. Like, you can see just because the length is different, but the color is looking good though. I mean, even on this side, you can't even see the difference actually. I'm excited. Success. I just want my hair to be done, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause I've been way too busy to be trying to be fighting with my hair. I'd rather have more sleep. Yay. If you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, it's been a month, but it's been really good, and I really just got to keep my eyes on the prize, you know what I mean? Keep my head and keep my eyes on the prize. That's where I'm at this month, and I gotta do it for me. There's a lot I gotta do for me, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, thank you so much for being here. It doesn't go unnoticed. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.